So Sony just randomly dropped the new design for the PS5. You know what? I kinda dig it. Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everyone's having a great day. And if you could do me a big favor, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. As I'm sure most of you already know, I prefer Xbox. I'm an Xbox-centric channel, but I don't hate on PlayStation whatsoever. In fact, I'm looking forward to the PlayStation 5 just as much as anybody. And out of nowhere today, Sony revealed the new DualSense 5. That's right, it's the new controller. They're doing away with the DualShock branding, and it's called the DualSense. And my first reaction when I saw it on Twitter was, that's really cool and kind of fire. And I seem to be in a minority opinion here, as most people really don't like the two-tone design, but there's actually a lot here to talk about. We're going to compare it to the Xbox Series X controller. Now, two of the biggest issues I've had with PlayStation controllers is that they are too small. I've joked around and said that the DS4 feels more like a Fisher-Price toy. Well, that definitely seems to be changed here. It seems that the controller is more girthy, and it will fit better in my hands as I have large hands. So it looks like it'll be more comfortable to actually use in long gaming sessions. But of course, the other thing they couldn't fix, obviously, the stick placement. I'm not a fan of the symmetrical sticks at the bottom. I much prefer the way Xbox does it with the asymmetrical thing, but that's a ship that has long sailed. I never expected them to actually rectify that. This is their design. It's kind of what PlayStation is known for, so obviously they weren't going to change any of that. So I really appreciate the new bulky design. The color scheme I'm okay with. Sure, I would much rather have it in all black, but that's something that I don't really particularly care too much about. Now, in the article, they talk about haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. Now, that's something that the Xbox has had for this entire generation. However, not many developers actually used it, and I'm kind of curious to see how many developers actually take advantage of these new things in the PlayStation 4 controller. You know, they mention driving on a wet surface or maybe running through the sand, and how you get the resistance from the controller to make it feel like you're doing what the character's doing on screen. And if more developers make use of that on the PlayStation, obviously they would make use of it on Xbox, which would bring us better gaming experiences all around. Now, a lot of people will say that PlayStation is a petty company. They dropped this information today, the same day that an Inside Xbox was gonna air, and they kind of call out Xbox in this article. They mentioned the share button, and you get the sense from reading this that they think it's a last-gen feature. Why? Because Xbox Series X new controller adds a share button. So it's no longer called a share button, right? In fact, they say for the buttons, you'll notice that there's no longer a share button as we had with the DualShock 4. Don't worry, it's not going away. In fact, we've built upon the success of our industry first, get that, industry first share button to bring you a new create button feature. With create, we're once again pioneering new ways for players to create epic gameplay content, etc., etc., etc. So taking a little bit shots at Microsoft, saying they were industry first, dropping this moments before an Inside Xbox, so everybody would be talking about the PlayStation 5. The new DualSense controller also adds a built-in microphone array, which will enable players to easily chat with friends without a headset. Now, I am of two minds for that. Typically, I play pretty much all my multi-platforms on Xbox. I have an Astro A50. I'm in party chat all the time. It's great. I really don't have a headset for the PlayStation 4, so I don't really talk to people who are PlayStation-only gamers. Now, I do expect PlayStation to put out more multiplayer titles, as well as some great exclusives that I might be playing on the system, and I get party invites all the time, but I don't really have a way to talk to some of the people that follow me on PlayStation, and this kind of built-in microphone would give me the ability to talk to them while I'm playing. So that is pretty cool. I don't have to spend any extra money to use a different microphone or anything. But on the flip side, as someone who sometimes had to listen to people come into Xbox parties with the Kinect microphone and listen to kids screaming and all the stuff that can go on in people's homes, I don't really want that to be a feature that I would have to listen to. So that's kind of my thoughts on the whole microphone thing. PlayStation users, you guys, the ones who are playing it all the time, what do you think about people joining parties and talking directly to their controller while picking up everything surrounding them that's going on in their house? How do you feel about that? Now, when you compare this controller to the Xbox Series X, the Series X controller didn't really change much from the OG Xbox One controller. They kind of made it a little bit smaller. They added textured kind of bumps to the triggers and the back of the controller for comfortable holding. They obviously added the share button, which Sony added in 2013. It's more of a refinement of the controller, and that's perfectly fine with me because I already love the Xbox One controller. I wasn't really expecting a huge change. But when you look at the DualSense, compared to the DS4, there's definitely a lot of different changes here. Ergonomically, the way it looks, the light bars being moved down, how it's shaped. It almost kind of resembles an Xbox controller when you compare it to the sides. Now, I just wish the triggers were a little bit longer. I don't really care for the triggers on PlayStation, but I am impressed by what I've seen here. Now, obviously, time will tell. I need to get the controller, see how it feels in my hands. Obviously, right now, looking at pictures of both controllers, I prefer Xbox Series X new controller. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to that, as that is my main gaming platform. So I doubt you'll hear me making fun of this new controller like I did with the DS4. The only thing I wish they changed was the stick placement, but I knew they wouldn't going in. Now, the other question I do have about all this, does this give us any insight about how the PlayStation 5 console is going to look? Are they going for a two-tone color scheme as well? Will the PlayStation 5 be black and white? Very interesting stuff here, and I do wonder how long it is until we get that PlayStation 5 console reveal. That's the video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, share this out on social media, and hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later.